Good morning, everybody. My name is Christy Card, Executive Regional Vice President with Arbonne. It is Saturday morning, the 10th of March, 10 days into the third month of the year. So we are very much into the first quarter of the year already. So hopefully you are on track with your goals, ready and excited about going where you told yourself you were going to go at the beginning of the year. So I am super excited to share with you today. We are going to do announcements. Ruth is going to touch on expectations for speakers when they're asked to train, but also when you're doing Facebook Lives, some of the things you want to keep in mind. Sarah is going to train on our new nutrition script, which is actually why we're here today and why we're so excited. It's something that I've wanted and all of us have wanted since the beginning of time. So it's been 6 years coming. So this is a huge deal, huge call, huge excitement, lots of momentum. And after that, I'm going to train on our new Facebook Live template and script that you guys can move, not only doing your nutrition events in person in someone's living room like we do with our new nutrition script, but now you can also do it virtually so that you can hit anybody that can't do an in-person script, you can do it online. So we are gonna rock and roll with that, and then we're gonna end the call with our amazing Jen, who is gonna knock your socks off. She has 32 new people in her district in the last 3 months. She's an area qual. She's earned Kendra Scott 4 months in a row. She's on fire. So it's going to be a great call. So with that, I'm going to send it over to Ruth to do announcements. And here we go.
All right. Good morning, you guys. Here we go. So first things first, GTC shirts are on sale until today. So you want to make sure and get yours by 6 o'clock tonight. Go on our team Facebook page. You'll find it there. Just search GTC shirts and then it'll come right up. Also, we have Keith Kochner is coming to town on March 23rd. It's a Friday. Make sure you and your teams are there. And you're welcome to open this up to family members and everybody in your life because it's an amazing training, amazing for mindset, and really growing yourself as a leader and a person. We're also decorating sweet cases for foster kids at Christy's house, yay, next Wednesday in honor of Mama Candy. So right now there's 163 that need to be decorated. We have about 20 hands, so we need more people there. It's going to be a great team building event, but also very much open to guests, family, youth. We just want to make this a really great big event. So with that, we have our announcements for our team. Every single week we have a Discover Arbonne. If you're not familiar with which one is in your area, talk to your upline, but we have our first Tuesday is Encinitas for local, second Monday is in Irvine, third Monday is in Carlsbad. You always map those out. And then if you're looking for updates, we have our team Facebook page. You want to be checking that twice a day, maybe morning and afternoon or evening, to stay up to date with what's happening in our team locally with our team, Tell the World Nations team. And then incentives, we have our Tell the World Nations website. So that's all there under challenges of recognition. And then if you're looking for incentives that are Arbonne sponsored, you're going to find that on your dashboard. So those are announcements for the morning. We're going to move right into training on what is expected for you as a trainer. Again, so this is if you've been invited to join training on our Zoom or if you're doing a Facebook Live. So our goal is really to serve our team with quality training, and we expect you as an owner of a potentially multi-million-dollar business to take it very seriously. Yes, we paid $79 and got product, but we treat this business as a multi-million-dollar business. So we take it seriously, and you want to imagine that it's your EMVP Donna Johnson or Cecilia Stoll. Like, this is important, okay? So with that, a few things we want to see from you are preparation, number one. So look alive and ready to train when you're joining in, whether it's Zoom or your Facebook Live. Okay, so this is really key. You know, that's what you look like, what you're dressed like, what your presence is. You look alive and ready. You look like you just had a fizz stick. Okay, let's just keep it at that. Practice your training and transition ahead of time so that you're ready to speak clearly and confidently, and you have a very smooth training. Again, just raising the bar in that way. Set yourself up in a quiet place with good lighting if possible. This is really key. You want to eliminate or limit distractions, whether that's kids or music, things like that. Let people in your house know, hey, I have a training from this time to this time. Would you mind handling your stuff outside? Or, get that kind of thing, so that the expectations are even for your household, so that you're really just limiting those distractions as much as possible. And then know who you're speaking after and who comes after you. So again, going back to transitions, you're just ready so that we have a nice, smooth training session with whatever it is when you're on Zoom. Obviously, that's for our Zoom trainings. You want to be joining the Zoom meetings or being ready to go live in your Facebook group at least 5 minutes early. You also want to welcome attendees as they join. So as their name pops up, hey, Rachel, thank you so much for getting on. This is great for our team trainings. It makes people feel important. You see them and notice them. But also for Facebook Live, this is really key because sometimes people will jump on and jump off. But if they hear you calling out their name, they're like, oh, she's watching. And they're more apt to join and stay, maybe because they feel a little bit bad if they jump off, right? So this also helps that a lot. And then for the Zoom trainings, just briefly introduce yourself, your name, your title, your city and state, what you did before and are doing currently for Arbonne alongside with Arbonne. So it's a very quick intro so that we know who you are. And then just having a professional presence is really key. So act as if, like I said, be the VP now. Even if you don't have your current paid as title isn't VP, that doesn't matter. You want to speak with authority and conviction, confidently and respectfully as a VP. So be very aware of foul language, word fillers like and Obviously, we don't do this all perfectly, but that is what we're focused on, is being very clear and concise. And it'll come with practice. So if you need to sit in front of your kiddos or pillows or whatever it is to practice before your training, you can even record yourself and ask a friend, what do you think about this? So getting that really crisp and clear. And then timing. Be sure that you and or your guest trainer are aware and they know their time limit and stick very closely to it. And just last, rock it out. You've been selected to do, if it's a Zoom training, you've been selected because you're extraordinary and you have something valuable to share, and we want to hear from you. So thank you for rising to the occasion ahead of time. But with that, I'm just going to pass it right on over to Miss Sarah Raymond, and she's going to do a quick training for us on Facebook Live. Script.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I am so excited to share this with you this morning. So I don't know about you guys, but ever since I joined Arbonne, the nutrition script has been something that I have wanted to get my hands on. And we haven't, right? We've just coached and trained the same way and done it the same way. However, we finally have gone in and completely rewritten our nutrition script, and the reason for is so that we can stop ad-libbing so much. As you know, a lot of us ad-lib a lot in our nutrition script and most of our scripts and create and fill in those fillers. So what we've done is really revamped our nutrition script so that it includes and encompasses everything that the 30-day does for our clients. Everything, as opposed to just concentrating on what it comes with and what the ingredients do, but really what is the purpose of the 30-day program. So I'm super excited about that. We're going to have that on the website tonight. So I'm not going to go into a ton of why what the script all involves, but what I am going to train on is the slight tweak that we have that is an action that you're going to start incorporating into your 30-day script. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and share the screen. Where did it go? One second, sorry. All right. There we go. Okay. So we have seen the document that says, I think it's titled originally, Do You Need to Detox? Well, this one is just slightly tweaked. It's signs of toxic overload. Do you struggle with any of these symptoms? So what we are doing differently in our in-person and our Facebook Live events is utilizing this to really help our clients, our potential clients, to see the 30-day, the need for them to do the 30-day and what it can do for their life. So when you're doing an in-person event, we know the first 30 minutes is our meet and greet, where we take our guests one-on-one and do the hand scrub and really get to know them, really get to understand their life, their whys, their discontents, their passions, all that by just asking questions and pampering them with a hand scrub, right? Once you have done that with all of your guests, and before you're getting ready to sit down and start your presentation, you're going to hand out one of these sheets to every single guest. Now, I would highly suggest that you laminate it. Get yourself like 10 dry erase pens. You can get them at the dollar store. Laminate it, and then you can hand each person and they can circle anything that affects them. And that way, being that it's laminated and dry erase boards, you can just wash it off and reuse it rather than having to print these out every single time. So that's just a tip. But what we're going to do, hand it to every single guest and ask them to circle any issues that they are dealing with. And what this is going to do for them is really get them to see first and foremost for themselves that the way that they are feeling has everything to do with being toxic and also the foods that they eat. Because a lot of us don't realize that joint pain is not normal, right? We don't realize that PMS is not normal. We don't realize that, midsection weight, stubborn weight that we can't lose is not normal. We just think that it's just something that comes with age, or it's just something that I personally have to deal with, or, IBS, it's just the way that my body is, right? So what this really is going to get to show them is that they can take ownership for how they feel. And then we're going to be giving them the tool and going over that with a 30-day program so they can take ownership, and then we can give them the toolkit that they can absolutely change their life, the way they look and the way that they feel every single day. And when you go through the script, you're going to notice that we tie back to the signs of toxicity throughout the script to really just continue to reiterate their personal health and how they feel. So you'll see that with the script. Now with the script is about 20 to 25 minutes. So we've timed it. It's the same timing. I feel like we've shaved off even a little bit from the old script. And so I would really recommend that you go through and read the script, take some time with it, practice in the mirror. Don't memorize it. That's not necessary because we hold the paper in front of us, right? But take some time to read it and really wrap your mind around it so that you're ready when you do an in-person event or a Facebook Live event. So with that, I am going to stop sharing my screen and I'm going to pass it over to the lovely Christy Card to share with you about Facebook Live events.
Awesome. Hi, I am so excited. So I'm going to share with you guys that the script in person and the Facebook Live script that you guys can now do a Facebook virtual event yourself match. They are the same. The only thing that's different is some of the stuff like the notes at the top and some of the notes at the bottom, but the meat of the script is actually going to be the same. So we won't have 3 scripts. We'll have 1 nutrition script and 1 skincare script so that you guys can be simple in duplicating the system the best way possible. So I'm super stoked because not only do we have our system, which is not 2x2x2 anymore, because that shows you that you have to have 2 events per week, 2 one-on-ones a week, and 2 drop kits a week. And we follow a more simple system, and it's on our website. If you see that when you go to the tools, the team tools page, it says 10 new direct and 2,500 PQV. So that means whatever you do, whatever activity you do, whether it's a Facebook virtual event, which I'm going to go over now, whether it's an in-person nutrition, an in-person skincare, a drop kit, a one-on-one, even if a one-on-one's on FaceTime or on Zoom or whatever, if it's virtual as well, or just plain asks. As long as you're getting 10 new in your business every single month and working on that 2,500 PQV, you're rocking it. So teaching other people to do the exact same, and you're going to build your business strong, stable, and fast. So with that, we're so excited that we have the option to go virtual because with social media, so many things have changed. The world is totally changing. Technology is totally changing. And we now literally can work from our computer, from our smartphone, at any time of the day, and we can do it simply and effectively. So what we have done is we've taken the nutrition script and we've made a template so that you can open a Facebook event. You can do your pre-posts. You can go live in your event for your 20 minutes, which that's how long the new nutrition script is. And then you can do your posts, your after posts, and then you follow up. The thing with a virtual event that is most important to understand is number one, you have to personally invite your guests, or you have to train your new consultant or host to personally invite their guests with a phone call or a text. Don't have them just pile people into the group. We need to make sure that we ask, get permission, that they say yes, and then we add them. That is super important, because how many of us have been added to a group that we didn't say yes to and we just get added out of nowhere? We want to make sure that we're making this very personal and specific to each person. The second thing is, with a virtual event, you absolutely have to be serious about your follow-up. Because these people are not live in front of you, like in person in front of you, you need to make sure that you're being very consistent and on top of following up with every single person after and getting their orders individually. So there is going to be more follow-up on your end, but how cool is this that we can wear pajama bottoms and a nice shirt and put our makeup on and do our 20 minutes and get back to putting our babies in the bathtub. So this gives us a lot more freedom, choices, and opportunities. And this might open up a lot more freedom and opportunity for other consultants that may have said no in the past because they didn't think that they had time. So with that, I'm going to go over the template. So first step, like I mentioned, make sure you and you're training your people on personally inviting 3 days before your start date. So I don't know if you've ever opened up a Facebook event, but it's quite easy. You just go to Facebook, events, open new, pick private event. It asks you for a theme or to upload a picture. You're going to upload this cover photo. And all of the pictures on this template will actually be on our website tonight along with this template, so you can download the pictures and have them ready. And so you're going to set up your photo. You're going to set up the description, the name. So here is the host name's Healthy Happy Half Hour. And then the group description right here. You're literally just going to copy like the stuff on this template and paste it in. So this is a no-brainer. We're making this ridiculously simple so that it can be duplicated as easy as possible to every single person on your team. There's the group description. 3 days before, you're just going to paste this post that says hello and welcome. It talks about prizes. Prizes, my suggestion would be fizz sticks or a couple little samples. So have at least 2 to 3 or 4 prizes set aside for every single virtual event you're going to do that you can give to people. Super easy, right? And a sample is great because it gets product in their hands and then they'll order it from you. So, okay, 2 days before the event, we have a nutrition rebalancing document and also talking about refined sugar, dairy, gluten, and soy. So again, you're just going to take these pictures from this template. You're going to paste what we wrote on there. So it's so easy. Okay. Before the event, the day before, you're going to do a mini live and you're just going to welcome yourself, welcome them, say who you are, and explain the signs of toxic overload document. Sarah just mentioned when we do our in-person events, we're also going to do the same thing on our live event. So you're going to say something like, "Hey everyone, I'm so excited to go live with you today. My name is Christy Card. I cannot wait to share my testimony with you on my 30 days at the living program and educate you on what is possible with the program. In just a minute, I'm going to post an image called Signs of Toxic Overload. I want you to take a look at that image and I want you to, number one, circle or count how many of those symptoms you have. And number two, I want you to share it. So if you share it, how many symptoms you actually had. If you had 5, if you had 10, if you had 15, you're going to get a raffle ticket for sharing and participating. So you want to do this a day before so they have time to look at that post and have time to participate before you go live. So that then you post obviously that toxic overload. This is the exact same thing that Sarah mentioned in her in-person. So now not only does the scripts match, but what we do matches. We want it to be the same, okay? Morning of, you take a picture of yourself, if it's your event, if it's a new consultant's launch, or if it's a hosted event, you want them to have a picture of themselves with either a fizz or a shaker cup, something like that. Then at your specific time that you decided, so if you're going live at 7 a.m., 9, 10, 11, 2 p.m., 6 p.m., 8 p.m., whatever time you decided, you're now going to read the live script that will be on the website tonight. That is the same one that Sarah's talking about. So make sure you get familiar with that script. The thing with the live that I do want to let you know, and in person, is we want the host or we want the new consultant to share their testimony in the beginning. and it specifies that on the script. So in person, that's super easy because the person's just going to be there and they're going to share their testimonial. On the live, you're going to actually have to invite the person to split screen with you. So if you feel like this is a lot of information of stuff you've never done before, I would suggest opening up a fake pretend Facebook event and going through this whole process and practicing once and inviting a friend in to watch you, to do it with you, maybe a sideline friend, and invite them to split screen so that you can practice that. Because you do want your host or your brand new consultant to have that FaceTime, because your guests are going to want to see them. They want to know what they think and how they feel about the product. So after it's done, the rest is all pretty self-explanatory. We have the post on the specials. We have the post on what a sample day looks like. We have a post on some of the add-ons, results. And then we have a post here that I'm going to stop at just for a second and share. And it talks about the skincare and how inside and out matters. So it's talking about 30 days to healthy living, detoxing from the inside, and detoxing your skin on the outside. So how both sets would be ideal for someone who is serious about cleaning. But if they can only get one, of course, that's fine. But it has the link to the catalog. So your guests on your live events can actually go to the catalog and can browse through whatever they want and make their wish list and make their list of what they're going to get. So then the last post literally just says, so what's next, has the picture of the products that they can pick as a free gift. And then it's up to you to go ahead and follow up with each person. Obviously, if they're your people, you probably your hosts people or your consultants people. Your consultant probably has their phone number. And if it's a host, you might want to ask your host if you can get the guest's digits, obviously, so that you can personally call and reach out to them. If you can't, obviously there's Facebook message and that works too. But remember, if you're not the person's friend on Facebook, your message is going to go into a secret box that they may not see. So you want to tell your host, hey, I really want to serve your guests as best as possible. Can I have their information? Because if I don't, they may not see my message. So you want to make sure you're doing that. So, and then you announce the raffle prize winner. So that's it. It's pretty simple. You know, from after you're live to how many things you post, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 posts after. So it's not really that many. I know there was a question of should we purchase a scheduling software program. I don't think it's necessary, to be honest. If you want to, you can. There's one called Tiny Torch. There's another one called Cinch. They're about $9.99 a month-ish, depending on the program. And you can put all the posts in, and they will post them when the timing is. But there's only like 2 or 3 pre-posts and 7 afters. I think you can just copy and paste and keep it free. But if you so choose, you may do that. But anyway, so that is our live. I'm so excited. Cannot wait. I know a lot of people are probably going to want to do this for you and with you. I do have a call to action. My call to action is there's 21 days left in the month. That means there's 3 full weeks, you guys. This is super simple and easy. So my call to action for you is to get 10 more events on your calendar and have them be this nutrition virtual event between now and the end of the month. And they can be your events, they can be consultant launches, or they can be hosts. But here would be some sample verbiage I would use to reach out to a person who would host for me. And that would be, you know, hey, Jen, I'm super excited. Arbonne's gone virtual. We're doing live healthy happy hours, and I'm so excited. Would you host one for me so I can get my practice in? You also get prizes, a free gift, and totally a lot of hookups on product if you so choose you want anything. And if you invite guests, you get a raffle ticket for each person, and so do they when they invite someone. What day works best for you? Would you be able to do this, right? Something along those lines, you guys. And if you can ask as many people as possible, that means more lives for you. And the cool thing about lives, last thing, is you could do one every day. They're only 20 minutes long. Or you could do 5 in a day, because our in-person events, you have to pack up your stuff. You have to drive there. You have to unload it. You have to set it out. You have to do the event. You have to get the orders. Then you pack it up. Then you go home. So the difference between an in-person event and a live event in terms of time is so different. And that's why it's really cool. You can fit this in as many times as you want. You can almost fit it into the nooks and crannies of the existing activity you have if something cancels or if you don't have enough activity, you can stick in 5 lives in a week and call it a day. So anyways, I'm so excited for you guys. This is awesome. This is totally going to rock our world and our business. This is where the world is going. This is where technology is. And nutrition is the key, because nutrition is what is exploding Arbonne right now. So with that, I'm going to have Jen finish out the call. She is totally rocking nutrition like crazy. She's an area qual. She's asking a ton of people, and she's going to give you her ENVP style tips on how she's doing what she's doing and how she's been successful. So with that, I'm going to stop share and send it on over to Miss Jen.
Hello. Good morning, everybody. So I am Jen from Northern California. And basically, I have been kind of very, very intentional recently. And I've been very, direct and very focused and very intentional about the way that I'm doing my business. And the thing that I think is, the first thing is that, we have a lot of people that we want to connect to, and there's only a finite amount of people we can actually physically touch, right? That we can actually be in front of. So we need to be out there. We need to be connecting with people so people know who we are. Because as we're familiar with, people buy from the people that they know, they like, and they trust. So people need to know who you are and what you're all about. And so it's about creating your own brand. And that doesn't mean that you have to get your own special custom tank tops. What that means is people need to know exactly what you're about, exactly what you're passionate about. So when they are, come across something and they go, oh, I'm trying to think of someone that's passionate about nutrition or someone I'm passionate about fitness, they think of you. They know exactly who you are. With Facebook and Instagram and all that social media that kind of controls how much people are seeing you. So because there's a control on that, you need to be out there regularly, because they're not going to see literally every post that you have. So you need to be out there and letting people see what you're all about, okay? So basically, I'm very regular on how often I post, because, I want people to be able to see me and to get to know me. And it doesn't all have to be perfect. It doesn't all have to be Facebook. It just has to be out there so people know who you are. And there's a book, The 10X Rule by Grant Cardone, and he talks about the 10X rule, how you need to do everything 10X, right? Because if you think about it, the amount of people that you're going to connect with, we already know that there's, percentages and ratios. In fact, Jim Rohn talks about this, is there's a ratio. The amount of people that you reach out to, honestly, best case scenario, you're probably going to get 2, 3, or 4 out of every 10 people that you're trying to reach out to. So if you want to be, interacting with a lot of people, you need to be reaching out to a ton of people, right? So, at the same time, it's like when you're doing posts, you need to be very, very consistent about it, because honestly, people are waiting to see if you're going to be consistent. They're waiting to see how serious you are, how much this is something that is your value and your core. So the more consistently that you are constantly posting about the same things, they know that that's what you're really passionate about, right? So for me, it's always constantly posting about fitness and nutrition and, what really matters to me in my life, right? Because honestly, there's also the fact that, people are going to watch you, and at first they're going to doubt you. Then they're going to hate on you, and then eventually they're going to believe in you. And that's what Grant Cardone talks about in the 10X rule. There's this whole bell curve with the way that people react to you. At first they're going to be like, oh, is she really serious about this? Maybe this is just a new flash in the pan, whatever thing. Then they're going to be like, oh my God, she's like obsessed with this. And like kind of pull back, because you're separating yourself from the pack. But eventually, when you're doing it consistently enough, they'll know you. And you're going to be the first person that's going to come to mind when they go, oh, who's about nutrition? Who's about fitness? Who's about Arbonne? Who's about personal development, whatever it is, they're going to think of you. You're going to be first in their mind, right? So establish your brand and be consistent. Don't let anybody step on your toes, rain on your parade, because you're going to have people that are going to do that. But that's okay, right? Stick true to you and stick true to your heart, because if you do that, you're going to separate yourself, because it's most people, it's the average people, it's most people that will be deterred by a little bit of negative feedback or not getting the response that they want. But if you're going to stick through it, that's what's going to separate you, and that's what's going to define you. So be out there on social media, establish your brand, have people know exactly what it is that you're about, stay consistent with that brand, and then back it up with activity. So for me, what happened was basically in November, give or take, is when we got the Jamaica incentive came out, right? That's what really, really lit my fire. So basically, that's what really got me excited. And I was like, you know what? This is it. This is what's going to go. And I went for it. And I took everybody that I had in Facebook, and I opened up like a whole new world of people that I hadn't even reached out to, right? I decided, you know what, if I know that my averages are going to be 2 to 3 out of every 10 people, I need to be hitting hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people to get the response that I want, because not only is it the amount of people that you're reaching out, but not everyone's going to be an insta yes. You're going to have to work with people, and you have to have a 30, 60, 90, because some of the stuff you do right now is going to pay off right now. Some of it's going to pay off next month and the next month and the next month. So basically, I opened up my entire contact list, and I just kind of reached out to people, and I was very, considerate of them. And I was like, do you know somebody who is looking for something like this? And do you have any friends, any family, any coworkers? And I kind of thought provoked them to give them suggestions, but I let them know, do you know someone who's looking for something like this? And that gets their brain going. So not only am I asking them indirectly, but I'm asking them for other referrals indirectly. All right. So that's what I did. That's what really kind of, exploded my connection to my nutrition business. And, it is that same kind of 10x activity, right? So I did, I was reaching out to lots and lots of people. I wasn't reaching out to 2 or 3 people a day. I was reaching out to lots, and I had to do it in the front end of the month so that it would pay off by the back end of the month. And then I would follow up with them. So every single person that said maybe to me, anybody that responded to me in any way whatsoever with even a maybe, I kept them on a short list of my maybes. And I'm like, I'm going to keep following up with you until I get, until we figure this out. Because a lot of people will, as we've heard before, they'll say no because they don't have enough information, or there'll be some sort of hesitation that they won't be honest with you about. So what I did was I kept following up with them, and I asked their permission. Can I ask you what is holding you back? Can I ask you if it's a money issue? Can I ask you if it's this or whatever? And I was able to nail down exactly what the problem was, because for a lot of people it's a money issue, and a lot of people it's a fear of failure. So I had to reach out with them to nail down what the problem was, so I could give them the information to solve the problem, so they were not holding themselves back. So I was very gentle, I was very polite. Can I ask you what it is? And I was able to solve those problems. So I would follow up, and then from the people that I was able to actually connect with, I established a system for customer service, because customer service is first. That's what we're all about, right? We're about supporting people and giving great quality customer service. That's why we're different than your traditional store. And so I followed up with everybody, and I gave them amazing customer service. I made sure I held their hand through the very first week of the nutrition. I actually was helping them before that, but I was holding their hand every single day. So they felt like they were going to be successful. They believed and trusted that they were going to be successful in this. And that in turn is what led to a lot of people being successful. Okay. And then what do? I leverage that success. So what I did was I went to everyone that was successful, and I said, hey, do you mind if I use your before and after pictures? Do you mind if I use your weight on the scale? Do you mind if I use it, if I keep it anonymous and keep your identity private, so that you can keep your own privacy? And they, of course, were like, yes, right? So I used that, and that's what got people coming to me, being like, wait, how do I lose 20 pounds? Is that real? And because they were able to see results, people start believing that you really can do it. It's not like, hey, you should do this because it works. It's like, hey, you helped someone lose 20 pounds. How does that happen, right? You are further establishing your brand, that you're someone that is able to make people be successful at this, right? So that's really kind of how I was able to increase my nutrition. And, there's a ton of information I can give you relative to that, but really the important part is about giving them that amazing customer service and leveraging it. And then the last thing that I really wanted to talk about is fourth quarter performance, right? So basically, a lot of us will go through, how we're doing things, and, we'll get down to the last couple of days, like close day or the day before close day, and we're like, oh, I'm so close to this. Let me give it my all, right? Let me go to the wall and totally give it crazy effort. Why aren't we giving it that kind of effort all month long, right? Why does it take until the the last day for the pressure to be on before we actually really step up and do what we can really do. So that being said, you know, what I do is I give myself checkpoints. And the way that I keep track of my checkpoints is I have a calendar that I use, and basically with my calendar, I'm keeping track of my performance and my numbers all month long. So I know exactly where I am and exactly where I'm going and exactly what I need. And so I'm able to tell myself throughout the process, how close am I to my goal? Where should I be? Where am I on track? Am I not on track? And when it first started with Jamaica, I was keeping track of my, you know, my personal QB and my central QB, because those were the two numbers that really mattered, right? Because central QB was doubling, so that's what I was tracking. And after the doubling of the personal, you know, ended, now I was focused on being an area manager. So last month in February, I was keeping track of my numbers every single day, and I was keeping track of my central and letting myself know exactly how close I was to going into qual. So every single day I knew, did I make the needle move? Did I not make the needle move? How, you know, how close am I? How far am I, right? And the great thing about this is I think for a lot of us, like in races and a lot of things, like when we have a goal that we're trying to attain, once you hit that halfway point, it's no longer you're trying to get up the hill, it's you're coming down the hill, right? So once you hit that halfway point, your whole mindset shifts. And that's really what it takes. So if you're keeping track of how much your QB is increasing and how much the QB that you need is decreasing, it will totally give you that mindset shift. You're like, okay, I'm already halfway there. The rest is just, you know what I mean? So February, I was focused on getting the qual. Same thing now in March. I know exactly what it is that I need to finish this out. So I'm very conscious. I'm very, you know, knowing exactly where I need to be. And it's giving me that reassurance of, if I'm tracking here on this month, I can go back and look at last month. How, was I tracking the same? How close am I? How, you know, do I need to step up my game? Because if I wasn't at this point by this, you know, last month, am I going to get there? So that being said, you know, it's really about being super driven, super motivated. And we always talk about our why. And we talk about how our why is, you know, supposed to make you cry, or our why is supposed to make you move, right? And for me, I think that our why needs to be two very distinct parts, right? The first thing is that it needs to be, you know, visualizing exactly where your why is going to take you, exactly what it's going to give you, and be so crystal clear about when I attain this, exactly what that's going to look like. So it draws you like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be so happy, so excited, whatever it is, when I hit this. At the same time, you need to see the other side of it and see, if I don't hit it, this is what's going to happen, right? You need to be like, I'm going to feel like I let this person down. I'm going to feel like this, or I'm going to be disappointed in myself, or whatever it is, and be very crystal clear about exactly how you're going to feel if you don't hit the goal that you're looking for. So you're being pulled by your desire, and at the same time you're being pushed by, you know, I don't want this to be the same case. I don't want to be a broken record and every single month saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to, but I'm actually going to do it. And I have a very clear plan, so I can see and I know where I'm going, and I know that it's actually a reality, and I'm not backing off the momentum. I'm not backing off, putting the pedal to the metal, because I know where I'm going. So really, that is, you know, what I would like to encourage you. You know, let's run, and let's all run together, because honestly, just like a team, just like a running group, just like a pack, when you start to run, it's like, and you have a team that's running with you, when one person starts to pull back, the team helps encourage them forward, right? And when one person starts to set a new pace, the rest of the team sees it's totally possible, and let's do this, right? So please, I encourage you, help step up, help set a new pace, because I'm super excited to keep going forward. I don't want to pull back on my momentum. I want to keep going forward. So please, let's step up and let's crush March and celebrate like in April at GTC. So with that said, guys, let's do this.
Jen, I love you. Killed it, rocked it. Recap, because we actually re-recorded this and you rocked it even harder. I have chills again. So I'm just going to recap what you said. Tracking, you track everything. You track where you're at every single day. You have goals in front of your face. You do personal growth. You can tell. You reference 3 books when you talk today. You are consistent with your activity, and you do the activity. So you have the personal branding on the outside, which is your social network and social media presence. But your activities, all the stuff that we can't see, that you're doing, that you're asking, that you're making stuff happen, and you're doing more than average. You're doing 10 times more than average, right? In terms of how many you're asking. You are worked on your mindset, you're clear with vision, you help people with customer service, make them feel important, and you absolutely act like an MVP already. So I am so excited for you. You're killing it, girl. I'm like going like this because I need to act like Jen, and we all need to act like Jen. And that's why we're all going to bring in 10 new direct this month, do our PQV, help our team do the same, rock our new nutrition script, rock our new nutrition lives, bring it in March and kill it the rest of the year. So with that, I'm so proud of you, like literally so proud of you that I almost could cry. And I am serious. I am just, you're amazing. So with that, you guys, let's do this. It's game time. Living bigger, stepping up. All right. Bye, you guys.